Welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, where last time we were on the planet Dargonis, the home world, I guess, or like the capital world of the Von Valankis dynasty. That is my dynasty, my character, Medea's dynasty. We had a meeting with the governor of the. We had a meeting with the governor of the planet, Mr. Urband Drivestem, who had arrived rather late to celebration. He kind of basically explained the, I guess, duties of a rogue trader to Dargonis, basically, and how Dargonis like operates. It seems mostly to kind of operate like independently from the rogue trader, and is kind of like Mr. Drivestem here is basically the steward of the planet in our absence, because we are expected to be exploring the galaxy, making contracts, bringing in that money, all that stuff. And he kind of explained some of the different factions and whatnot. They basically confirmed who the governor of the planet would be. Like, we had the option of basically keeping Drivestem as the governor, or kind of giving that position to another family dynasty, such as like the Sourbecks, the Gapraks, or the Rosarians. We decided to just keep it with the Drivestems for now. We'll see if we ever get an option later to change that. After the meeting, we kind of went out to explore some more, because we needed to. None of them deserved it. Just purge them all for heresy and call it good. Assuming direct control of the planet, basically, is your suggestion. Would do. Did consider. This guy was late to the celebration. The audacity. But hey, Bliss, how you doing? Welcome in. I saw you, that you were invoiced in the Discord. I'm like, oof, that's just an open invite to play. But I'm like, oof, I'm gonna play Warhammer. Yeah, how you doing? But kind of got a few planetary events that happened. We kind of started building a shrine on Foulstone. We could start building stuff on Dargonis. Now that it was our planet, I'm sleepy and doing extreme difficulty as Moosey by myself, and oof, but I'm doing it. Why? Why? So why are you playing as Moosey? She tell you to level her up? How's that going? Talking about Helldivers 2, by the way. Very good game. She wants to be 25 plus. Yeah, she told me to. I see. I see. I expect the next time that we all play together, I expect Moosey to just be like rocking in level 30, like way above everybody else. Just like tossing the Bile Titans with her pinky finger, you know? And I'm expecting. But anyways. Going back to another universe that also has bug enemies and robot enemies, Necrons and Tyranids. It's possible. Stream gives a 100% bonus to everything. God damn. Yeah. Yeah, I figured. But yeah, the back in Warhammer 40K land, the Kiava Gamma had a little bit of an incident happen on it as a machine disease, a virus, a code virus, software virus, spread in one of the manufactorums, and we had several options of how to deal with it, and one of which was like, we could just go in, purge the place, and everybody in it. We could, quarantine it and research it, and stuff like that. Pascal's suggestion was to just trust me, bro. To have him organize something and just be like, trust me, bro. I got this. And I decided to be like, yeah, I trust you. And yeah, he sent in he invented some sort of thing. Gave it to like a team of people who then went into the manufacturing room, and there was a blue-green explosion, and the place was purged. You don't know what the fuck happened, how it happened. Just that Pascal said it was a vision. The device came to him in a vision from the Omniscient, and I'm like, I trust. So that was nice. Dargonis also had a entire fucking hive city destroyed, and we had to figure out what to do with the refugees. We could like kind of send them over to like the other hive worlds. We could just let them live out in the wastelands of Dargonis, or just be like, yo, fuck y'all. I think the other option was yeah, it was basically just saying fuck you to all of the refugees, being like y'all are gonna stay in those ruins and just live there, dealing with your mess. And yeah, we consulted with the advisors, and we took Abelard's option, which was basically, hey, nobles, you are supposed to be a river to your people. And so accept in these hive world people. And so they did, rather reluctantly and with some persuasion. And I imagine threats. And yeah, after that, we had like a little project on Dargonis of what to do with the ruins of that hive world. And we decided to just rebuild it. Like, rebuild it, and the people who used to live there could return home. That just seemed like the good thing to do. And yeah, what else? Janice had something, but I don't remember what it was. Because we got them the forest fortresses. Like, yeah, I cannot for the life of me remember what the event was. Oh, I remember now. They were seeing like these wraiths around the borders with the like unclaimed land that we're letting the Odori stay in. And you know, we took Jay's suggestion and hired some people to send in there, some xenotech experts, so to speak, in to figure out what the fuck was causing these spirits. And we noticed that there were like kind of two faction of spirits. One seemed to be like, you know, Craft World Odori spirits, and the other seemed to be Drukari. I don't think that was explicitly said, but it was heavily implied. So like, yeah, we sent in these Xeno artifact code traders basically, and they came back with this big old Odari obelisk, which they just set up in a town, and it got rid of the spirits. So that was nice. Oh, we also went through, and this is not through vignette narratives, we went through the glorious bureaucracy of the Imperium, as we got, we had 2 seals on the Mercatum Tabulae Officiale that we're getting for Jay Hidari. And yeah, we had to wait in line for several days, for like a day and a half. And so we got given a little ticket, being like your number 340 something, at the teller window to like approach when you were called. And they were on like 200 something, and after like an hour, like one person had been called up. So Jay, immediately being impatient, was like, we need to do stuff to get ahead in line. And she offered a few suggestions. I took the one that was like, let's just help people with their problems, because I'm the rogue trader and super rich and can probably solve some of these problems with money or just my signing off as an authority figure. And so we did that. One of the options, mind you, was to literally shoot up the place. But yeah, we saw it to the people and heard their complaints. The first guy that approached us was like, I'm getting married, but I'm marrying a common woman, basically, who's like a bit of a doctor in like a regular standard clinic. And then some noble lady kind of came running up and like, no, don't do that. You cannot like intermingle with the rabble. You should go to university instead. And I'm like, well, I'll just sign whatever paper you need to do to get married to this common woman. And he was like, thank you. And they left. And then we also had like an old man who approached us, very old man, who wanted to basically offer himself up for servitization in order to save his daughter, who had been servitorized, and was kind of in disrepair. And we're like, all right, we'll repair your daughter, and if you want to be with her forever, we can also servitorize you. And he was like, thank you. And then yeah, we just kept helping people, and that got some people out of the line. We still had to wait some more, so we set up a nice fancy waiting spot for ourselves, and just hunkered down for like an entire day, just staying in line. And then finally we got called up and got our little stamp. Took all of like 1 minute. and made our way to the Master of Seals. And like Jay Hidari is now officially the proud owner of a Mercantum Tabula Officiale. She does not get any copies if she loses it. She, or rather, the Von Valancius dynasty cannot sponsor her again. Um, for like a renewal, basically. And yeah. We actually did that first, and then we went around doing all of the colony stuff, while also searching for adamantine, because we kind of needed some of that for some of our planetary projects that we wanted. And yeah, after that, we went to football to celebrate at the Martyrs Endurance, the Adeptus Amasekis, with Jay Hidari in celebration of her becoming an official merchant of the Von Valancius dynasty. And yeah, we had a little party. Very small. It was just Jay, Octaviana, the owner of the bar, and her two friends, Core and Tora, who, mind you, I swear, Core's supposed to be dead, his head having been gifted to us by Falco's crew. But apparently he's fine now. He got better. And yeah, so they're at the party, and we just kind of chilled with them. We played some games where Jay Hidori was definitely not cheating. That had some stakes. Eventually, we did win one game though, causing Jay Hidari to kind of dance on top of the table. And then Falco arrived and gave a gift to Jay on behalf of some person called, I want to say Mercy, who I guess is some enigmatic leader in the Caspalican mission. Caspalican mission being like a criminal organization. They're basically space mafia. And I kind of snarkily said, well, Falco, where's your personal gift to Jay Hidari? And then he walked over to Jay. I'm like, he's gonna kill her, and took out a knife. And I'm like, he's definitely gonna kill her, and just handed it to her as a gift. It was a toxic knife, and a Drakari weapon. And then he just kind of left, and we continued our little celebration, getting drunker and drunker until eventually fade to black, and we fade back in Medea's bedroom, with Jay kind of on the bed next to us, and we're like, what the fuck happened? And learned, we recollected some things, and got told some other things. We caused a little bit of mischief, one could say. And yeah, that was basically where we left off. So we continue. We now have to go to a place called Vabos 6. Governor Drivestam very much insisted that we go there, as it's the last major planet where things are going wonky. Things are going a little bit silly and chaotic. And it's a penal colony. So we get to see what the fuck is going on there. And, oh, I forgot. We also got a message from House Arcelio saying they wanted to speak with us, and we went to go meet them. And they basically brought a delegation to demand Cassia back. And when we said no, or basically when we conferred with Kastya, and Kastya was like, I would like to stay. And I was like, okay, sure. And then some lady was like, no. And started attacking us as we learned that they were part of whatever faction it was that wanted to try and kill her. I think she's like a horrible monster mutant. Um, and after we defeated them, we put her on a little trial and had her executed. And the other guy, the regent, let go. As we just basically learned that there's this little factional war going on in House Orselio. And we're like, yeah, fuck that shit. Ah, see. My compliments to your taste in art. It's not my taste. All right. Nothing on that, I see. All right. I mean, hey, the place cleaned up quite nice. I remember it being particularly bloody when we ended last time. Nice to see that in the meantime they cleaned things up. Alright. Let's just go forth. Check our quest log. Asio wishes to speak with us. Very well.
It is so fortunate you have come. I admit I was seeking you out myself. After the events on Dargonus, it felt like an anthracite grey mantle had dropped on my shoulders. I spent a long time thinking about our very first meeting and what happened next. I cannot wait to shake off this dreary color. It was very naive of me to follow in the footsteps of the man who raised me in a gilded cage. And I was deaf to the needs of my own house. But you opened my eyes. As the future Novateur, I must gain wisdom to restore House Orselio to its former glory, no matter the cost. Thank you. It will be an honor to keep guiding your vessel through the Sea of Souls, for as long as the needs of our dynasties are aligned.
Cassia touches the place where her atlas is implanted. I hope you're feeling a little safer now that Elena Celio has been executed.
On the contrary, Lord Captain. The mere thought of what happened tightens a grey-blue slip noose around my throat. To realize, again and again, how fervently your subjects hate you. I am sorry, Lord Captain. I should not have darkened your colors with my own struggles.
You feel a suffocating lump in your in your throat. Alarmed, Cassia passes a palm over your shoulder as if shaking off some ash that settled there. You feel some relief. You did not mention the Starway Atlas when we met.
I would never reveal this secret to an outsider. But you have come to my aid more than once already. The Starway Atlas is a sacred artifact of House Orcelio. It helps our navigators chart a course through the warp. This crystal, the Atlas, has been inside me for as long as I can remember, giving me strength. But the others... I noticed the renegades in the palace were choked by ashen ghosts of despair when we met face to face. I swear the ghosts were reaching for their atlases.
Cassia lowers her lashes and touches the plate over her heart. So the Atlas is some kind of crystal that is implanted in the navigators of Orcelio at birth?
But my Atlas is much more powerful than the others. It's the Atlas of Tisiphone herself.
Tisiphone.
That is what people have whispered behind my back my whole life, although no one knew for certain. But I always suspected. I simply did not wish to admit it to myself.
Cassia nods. Certain navigators in your house fear the Atlas's power.
Certain navigators in my house have tried to kill me more than once. But the tales of Tisiphone's brutality, I am beginning to wonder. What if they are all true? What if I will be a new tormentor to those who serve me?
Her silver brows furrow in fury, then she lets out a disconsolate sigh. Said you wouldn't share your secret with just anyone. Does that mean that I am someone to you?
I thank fate for giving me a friend with whom I can share my thoughts.
We're friends. Cassia smiles much more broadly and with a greater warmth than usual. Thank you for telling me.
Thank you for listening.
Giving you a slight smile, Cassia nods and thanks.
I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Daughters. Alright. Blades in the void. Lords of Von Valanki's protectorate are being terrorized by enemies of humanity. Xenos carrying out rapid strikes on colonies and trading vessels. The Rogue Trader must prevent any further plundering of the dynasty's holdings and launch a counterattack. Xenos raids may have struck the penal world of Vabos 6. This report requires further investigation. And investigate we shall. Never anything on the Vox spirits. Never ever.
You are spoiling me with this.
The Omniscient knows all.
Helen Talk.
Okay.
Lord Captain.
Alright. I have so much insight now. 12 people. Oh, to loosen its breath. Okay. I can mission on the previously helped with. Okay. I don't really care about things. Let's see. Killer. Forge a path to Vabo 6. Path forged. Lord Captain, we have cross-referenced the key characteristics of the system with our astronautical chart data. The planet Vabo 6 is located here. Problem is, the augurs detect an unusual change in the atmosphere, not unlike a massive release of toxins. It appears that something unfortunate has happened to the planet's underground storage facilities. It's impossible to land safely on the planet just now. Unknown ships are cruising in the system. No need for any cog to analyze it. I can decipher this telemetry easily. Xenos. The armory and artillery crews are standing by. Soy. Andrew Kai. Fuck you.
This inky abyss will witness our victory!
Victory. Alright. Last Hatred Frigate. Edgy. Can't quite get those yet. And that one out. Great.
Proceed accordingly.
Nice. Get him. I like the torpedoes. Good shit. Alright. That was easy. That was surprisingly easy. Save that. Hits a Vapor 6. Oh, hold on. Cancel. Weapon proficiency. Okay. Health. Sure. Alright, an eye for the unscathed. When it attacks an enemy that is at full wounds, gains 20 dodge and dodge reduction against that enemy. Targets dodge and dodge reduction by that. Yeah. Okay. Regains the AP spent for that attack. We're good. Let's stack vulnerable. The one that I like. Everything spree. Okay. 8 more stacks attack advantage. Gains 1 stack attack advantage for every hit scored on enemies. Not being crit by allies is pretty good. Pain channeling. Hey sheep, how you doing? Leveling up some characters that we don't use. Enemies that have taken damage from the Psyker suffer at least 20 on all resistance chests against the Psyker. Mm-hmm. 5 to into perception. We're about to do Vebos 6, by the way. I'm alright, how are you? I'm chillin'. I'm big chillin'. Oh, side reading. Of course. Doi. There's 6 sounds for that. Subtle manipulation. Thriving in peril. One action point less. Okay. Alright. What the fuck is happening here? Who do I want to bring? Heinrich is also another option. Like, these are the always brings. So. I was at difficulty picking team. It's always the last one. It's always the last person. Like, I need Pascal. He's my techie. Cassia's just big AoE. Argenta's just great. And Abelard's great. But I never know what to do for this one. Like, Heinrich's pretty good. Dira's got them psychic powers. Irlet's really good. She, like, fucking one-shots a bunch of enemies. What would be Irlet? Can go wrong. Bringing a Xenos to, we're dealing with Xenos here anyway, so, like, you know, we might get some insight from bringing Irlet with us. Who knows? Nice. Get my sniper buddy. Whoa. Blue lava. Cool. The fuck is that?
Curiosity sings.
Vebos 6 always was a penal world. But this, even the miscreants of this place do not deserve such a fate.
Peculiar position. Indeed. Above a little skull thing. Let's see, quite a ways away. Anyways, Ireland. The sign of Hecataria, the Wick Court, from the depths of Comarog. Tread carefully, Medea. Their footsteps make no sound, and their blades strike faster than lightning. The man's body is frozen in an unnatural pose. The corpse's fingers are crooked, and its teeth are barred in a ghastly grimace.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Oink. This man clawed at his throat right before he died. The broken, slashed, and gutted body is still covered with the shreds of a planetary warden uniform. The caustic ooze gives off a sickening vapor that eats away at the lining of your nose and mouth, making your eyes water. The whole ass building has just sunken into the ooze. Enthralled gladiator. Enthralled? That's spooky. I think I just got called for dinner. Hold on. I'll go check. We're gonna take a break. Boop. I am back. Had a ham and cheese egg sandwich and some chips for dinner. Pretty good. Ah. Very quick dinner. Alright. Let's see what the fuck is going on with this guy. The bodies have been twisted into a pose resembling a servile bow and bound with barbed wire. You can clearly see several thin cuts left by bladed weapons on the body. Back here. The symbol of torment. This is how the Dark Ones mark the arenas that serve to nourish their withered souls. What the heck is this?
The machine god grants me insight.
Scorpion Sting. A massive crusher designed to extract ore from rocks is covered with a thick layer of dust and rubble. Jesus, that's a big drill. It's like so much bigger than like the little tiny vehicle it's attached to. It's so silly looking. Right, what symbol was she talking about? Look at it. Where do they get all this stuff? Who are they? Have the Dark Ones found the governor at last? The tall, live Xenos moves with the grace of an otherworldly predator. The creature gives you a dispassionate glance and casually speaks a few words that are immediately picked up by your elucidator. What's that? An incredibly rare translation device that allows the user to understand and speak most dialects of Low Gothic and some Xenos languages. Okay. Mechadus, Aleph, what is this? Has one of the sisters found an amusing trinket in the ruins and saved it as a special treat for the Archon? The Xenos takes a quick look over her shoulder towards the platform where a few more silhouettes in tar black armor can be seen. By whose leave are you playing Lord on my world? The Xenos' eyes light up with interest. The Monkey understands my speech. Where did you come by a device that can translate our language? Are you trying to impress me by appearing useful? Such words will earn you a bout in the ring at most, without weapons, and soon, without your skin. The humans scattered around you on the platform stare as if they've seen a ghost. The eyes of some betray their fear, others glare with bestial hatred, and yet more look upon you with hope. Who are you? My name is known to everyone on this planet, Monkey. I am Tazara, the Deliverer. Tazara, the Benevolent. The one who grants respite from the choking grasp of this world. I decide who lives, who dies, and who finds new purpose for their existence in Komarag's many arenas. Surely this is why you have come here, to fight for my ever-changing favor and for the privilege of being the first to be chained. Irlet chuckles haughtily. Such grandiose names for a soulless wretch who tortures the breathless and torments the powerless. Your words hint at a nobility you have never possessed. Cousin, what are you doing among this rabble? What an unexpected and tantalizing surprise. Tazara licks her lips hungrily. I cannot wait to take you in my arms and clasp you tightly to me. Do not waste your breath on your lies. Only the faint vestiges of blood connect the Azuriani and Dark Ones such as yourself. I presume this toxic atmosphere is your doing. Let's see. Address the writers. How could you stoop to this? After killing one another for the amusement of the enemies of humanity, I am a rogue trader, the Emperor's anointed guardian of humanity, and your doom, Xenos scum. Welcome back. You made no joke about inhaling food. I inhaled some food. Bacon, or like ham and cheese, egg sandwich. Ravaged the planet, wiped out millions of people, made those who survived bend the knee. Who paid for this? I presume the toxic atmosphere is your doing? It could be. Or perhaps my mere presence is enough to make base creatures like yourselves forget how to breathe. Tazara lets out a nasty chuckle. Are you really surprised at what happened? You wove the net right under your own feet. We merely knocked out the pin and drew it closed, tight around you. A couple of volleys at the seals on the underground well, and the planet, the one you had turned inside out, did the rest. Sandwich, yeah, that doesn't take long. Yep. Scarfed it down. I hereby declare you a Category 3 blasphemer for tampering with the sacred production cycle of this world's extractiums. The drill on Pascal's mechadendrite springs to life with a howling screech. And your brethren finished what the planet had started. Oh, how they strived to please me and my entourage. How they slaughtered and tortured their own kin for mine and my sister's delight. How they decorated this little arena with still-living Monkey. Did you think all that you see before you is the work of our hands? Think again. Fighters. A hulking brute who can barely stand coughs up blood and wipes his lips. What? Was I supposed to lie down and die? The ones who survived the arena, the Xenos take them away. Saw humans boarding the shuttles with my own eyes. They're going to take us away from here, you hear? This statement is false. You were supposed to furnish yourself with a means of respiratory protection and inflict maximum damage on the perpetrators before ceasing your vital functions. Yeah, who gives a shit about us convicts? The lanky buggers may keep me on a leash, but at least I'll be alive, not coughing up my lungs. Oh, buddy. Buddy, you do not want to go on those Drukhari ships, buddy. They will torture you for centuries, keeping you alive. How cruel you are to your unfortunate kin. These Monkey have worked hard to entertain their elite audience. Each of them fights with a strength born of desperation, seeking to earn their place in my box of toys. There is always room for more. My toys do break so very easily. I love Pascal. Pascal's great. He's my bro. We're bros. My two best friends, Pascal and Irlet. And Jay. Even though I never bring Jay into the party. But yeah, random scarred gladiator. Just so you know, when she's saying earn their place in my box of toys, she means that quite literally. They will literally turn you into a toy, into like a flesh hat that's still alive, or a flesh toy. That sounds weird. Anyways, continue. To be reduced to a Xenos' plaything, a shameful fate for the scions of humankind. You ravaged the planet, wiped out millions of people, made those who survived bend the knee. You will pay for this. Am I not paying for our mischief already? Am I not saving the worthiest among your kin, gifting them the right to die for the delight of my brothers and sisters? What kind of abhorrent ingratitude is this? From the dusk behind Tazara comes a cry. The distance between you and the Xenos is too great for the elucidator to interpret the words, but the tone alone speaks of irritation and impatience. Tazara raises her blade and points at you. Tell the other Monkai that whoever slit your throat will depart for their new home ahead of schedule, and tell them to hold nothing back. Tonight they dance for a Ramirez herself, the great archon of the cabal of the Reaving Tempest. Tell this Mamirisis she's not going to like what she's about to see. Turn to the fighters in the arena. Do you truly wish to die at the Xenos' behest? If we join forces now, we can end this senseless carnage once and for all. And pardons. You get pardons. Exhausted and defeated faces trade worried glances. The hulking brute next to you hesitates, then spits and breaks into a grin. We're gonna die anyway. Might as well do it without the heretics brand. Slay the beasts! Tamara emits a furious scream and takes a step back, signaling to her companions.
Furious creatures. I wish to vivisect
Wick,
you.
wick, gunslinger, wick. Hecatrix. Fuck is a Hecatrix? Tazara, Marazai, Emiris. Alright. Oh, I'm ambushed, apparently. I move up here. One, will I be able to shoot? I'm gonna shoot many of them. really have a front line.
War is my muse. I won't sully myself with that.
Feel like I should probably take out the gunslinger. What if I just shoot her? We got 2 gunslingers. Phew. This one? Trench line stratagem. Sure.
Your last stroke of luck. Here we go.
Get him.
Time to slaughter someone.
That guy had a voice that just like made me think orc. Okay, had to make sure I would still be able to hit
As
that
the
person.
Emperor commands, I act.
Yes. Hope they will add a couple of orcs in the DLC. I want orcs. Orcs are great. I love them.
This a strike.
They're lucky boys.
I'll do it.
Alright, one down. Let's fucking go. Can I get that? No. Right. I'm gonna send you over here so that you can deal with this lady. Because I don't like that name. It sounds spooky.
If it serves your cause.
Hehe, penal. Got the same sense of humor as me.
Woe to you.
Crit, crit. Aww. Dark powers. What the fuck? What is that? Dark powers. Double tap. Grants witches the double tap ability for 3 rounds. So, hi Moosey, how you doing? You have some sort of ability. Gift of Pain. Grants 2 to 4 damage and 2% armor penetration per stack. Stacks up to 3. Okay. Hemorrhage. Deals lethality divided by 10. 15 rending damage that ignores armor and deflection at the beginning of each of the target's turns. Oh, you're so fucking dead. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Let's make it quick.
Get him. Oh, you could have gotten the kill steal.
I am a prey taker.
A prey taker? Quick attack. Oh no.
Pain is all.
No.
My mastery is unsurpassed.
Oi. Don't do that. I'm dodging. I'm ducking. I'm weaving. Alright, Abelard. Swan. And I'm
At your
on.
beck and call.
Because I actually fucking remembered to do it.
I will do my duty.
Someone's saying a thing. I do not recognize this symbol. It may be the sigil of the Cabal, a constellation of hunters marking out their hunting grounds. That one? I don't know what symbol you're talking about, Air. That crazy. Pascal, my friendo.
Running binary override.
The gunslinger, right? Alright, NPCs. Don't run into the trap. Ally attacks a target. No. I need somebody to help me. Bonk.
I'll show you the real pain.
What does do? Instability detonator. Okay. You do it. Good job. Bold. Very, very bold. Aw, you can't get that one? Come on out. Oh, hey. Kill each other. Please don't explode.
In anticipation.
Get it. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, buddy? I guess we'll just kill you. I don't want to know what kind of buffs you just put on yourself.
I'll show you the real pain.
69 damage. There's still one left. Some people are moving. I don't know who's moving, but someone's moving. Okay, it was them. They were moving. Checking to see if any like reinforcements or something are coming. Don't seem like it. Hey, you.
Let's get to it.
Buddy. Strikers.
My vow is to serve.
All right. Poison nerd.
Show me what you've got.
Your last stroke of luck. You will pay for this in blood.
Next attack. Oh, will not count. Oh, I'm supposed to use that first. Okay. Roulette. Come back over here. The surviving fighters turn their heads towards you one after another. All eyes on the battlefield are glued to you. Okay, I'm obviously going to pick Iconoclast, but let's see what the other options are. By destroying these foul Xenos, you have atoned for your transgressions against the Empire. Get to the shuttle. The rest of you will be subject to selective punitive servitorization so that you may further toil for the good of the Imperium. Stay on the planet with everyone else and wait until I decide what to do with you. I do not have time for this right now. Heretical. Why have you stopped? We aren't done with you yet. Those who fought with me, get to the shuttle. As soon as we get away from here, I will give orders for the immediate evacuation of the remaining survivors. Alright. Poison Hecatari Blade. I don't know what these little plus symbols mean. Wick. Armor. Light. It's supposed to be like a witch. Hunter Carapace. Which symbols? Those symbols. Better watch out. These witches. They got a bunch of herbs and crystals and rocks. They're gonna do some readings on us.
One step at a time. Amidst the
man died clutching his intestines as they spilt from his lacerated stomach. Oof. The body was partially flayed, and judging by the amount of blood, the victim was still alive when it happened. Yeah, that tracks.
Messiah, grant me the wisdom to perceive.
That tracks for Drukari. Can't go that way. A whole bunch of Hecatari blades. The body is missing parts of its extremities. It was hacked to pieces with dozens of strikes. Blast pistol. Dark light blast. You.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
There is no doubt the Dark Ones left satisfied. We treated them to an exquisite feast of pain and misery.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Oh. The sacred engine meant to work in the quarry has not been used for a long time. Where the fuck are those people? Oh.
Patience! Oh, my nerves are frayed.
It's a smaller map than I was expecting. Your ladyship? We're almost at the next level of Iconoclast. Oh, hey, it's back. The dynasty restored. You reclaimed all of the colonies of the blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Alright. Punishment of the Thinkers. Vebos 6 needs new convicts. Various dangerous literates and idle thinkers could supplement the workforce. Enemy of knowledge? No. Grants 5% damage against psychers and navigators. Jerusians like that? Gross. Punishment of the Outsiders. Babo 6 needs new convicts. The quarries can be filled with prisoners taken from foreign worlds. The pirates like this one. Punishment by calculation. Babo 6 needs new convicts. Purchasing foreign criminals is a potential solution to this problem. What? Unsure feature. Gains 10% dodge against human enemies. All allies gain 10% critical damage. Purchasing foreign criminals is a potential solution to this one. What the fuck does that mean? Slaves? Is that what that means? I don't want that. Pirates like this for some reason. But why? Purity 2, efficiency 2, complacency 2, or minus 2 rather. I ain't no enemy of knowledge. Using dodge against humans. It does give us some Imperial Navy rep. Minus 2, 2, 2. Minus 2, 1, 3, 1. Well, I suppose. At least save. Actually, I'll test out something that I've been like curious about. If I do this, does it unlock different things? Okay, let's see. Underground workers, gigantic machines will vaporize the rock in their path, clearing the way to the most valuable mineral deposits. The serf clans operating them will never again see the sun, nor will their descendants. You don't use quick saves? I hard save every day. All day, every day. If they are kept from sleeping. Warp guides. There's a rumor that there are several warp guides among convicts, unsanctioned semblances of navigators. It may be worth it to hunt them down and put them into service. Lair in the Void. The abandoned Void station in orbit around her may be turned into a secret den for the pirates of the Coronus Expanse. Servitude. Provide the Drusians with convicts as pilgrims for the Arks. Rectum Metallica. The master artisans of the Adeptus Mechanicus deepen the mines of Vabos 6, where thundering seismic cannons will tear through rock to free precious ore. Mobile extracticum, though. Envirodome. The mining complexes are becoming overcrowded with convicts. The massive crystal flex domes, whose filtration alters purify the water and air, will fit far more workers. That sounds surprisingly humane. I will fear no poison. Gain 5 corral and suffer -10 toxic damage. Magos Toxicus of Vabos 6, responsible for the purity of the climate domes, presented the Rogue Trader with a welcome gift of consecrated rebreather filters and poison-resistant medicaments. Ergonomics. Mining complexes are getting crowded. Individual pods and tranquilizers for the convicts could solve the problem. Absolute efficiency. +5 commerce, +4% hit chance. Everyone knows the Rogue Trader's eagerness to succeed using the most efficient ways possible. Test of wills. There are now more convicts than work. The surplus can be expelled from their quarries. Over time, they will run wild and harden, and from them it will be possible to select fighters for service. Oh god. Eugenics. Oh boy. Unerring shots. The cannoneers. Torpedoes deal 15% more damage. Blood sports. There are now more convicts than work. Gladiatorial arenas will recycle this surplus to the delight of visiting aristocrats. I don't like the sound of that at all. Killing fields. There are now more convicts than tasks to fulfill. The quarries extracting Physaline sand are rightfully called killing fields. They will consume any amount of living labor. Superior munitions. +5 ballistic skill, +5 damage to their ranged attacks. And when you need ergonomics. We can make Thunderdome. Alright. Let's check. Load. Yes. I do quick save, but I very often don't quick load. Alright, let's see. Get this. Okay, no, it's still like all of the same stuff. Okay. Still all the same things. 10% dodge against that. Projects never change. That'd be cool if they did. Like based off of the first one, like there are different trees. Be nice if there was a few different linked to the rank 1 projects. Yeah, like the like how the third one, like rank 3 is always tied to one of the rank 2s. Wrath of the vile rabble. Oh god. Mobile extractor mode, like I gotta go for that one. Not sure which of these I would pick though. It's like, this sounds like the more humane option. Then it can lead to this. As expected of Warhammer. Alright. We'll go with this one, I guess. Alright. Now what? Undetermined. Wait for a response from Dargonis. Inspection Master. Captain calls himself the Master Inspector, is in the market for human merchandise. This peculiar character has repeatedly shown up on footfall to buy serfs, criminals, and unfortunates detained for vagrancy. Where he takes them is unknown, but his coffers seem bottomless. Let's see if... Okay, yeah, it's the same. Alright, we'll get a little bit of a piracy in the area. A little bit of free-spiritedness. I mean, someone's got to search for the One Piece. Alright. Yes, I go there now. Wait a second. Oh. Go there. Whee! In a new stage of development. To... Let me check to see how much is there. Is it just one? It's just two. I don't think I can even get anything here anymore. Yep. Dargonis. Filth of the Emperor. On security. Ooh. The season of wars. Adeptus Arbites. What are those again? I don't remember what they are. Pirate's Bane. For a chance against pirates. 1% scrap for winning battles. Kinda like that. My face when like my rogue trader just turns to piracy because it has the better bonuses. The better rewards. I mean, look at that. Xenotech, Adamantine, Phlogiston, those are all pretty rare. We've got plenty of Xenotech, but we can always use more. Lord Captain, disturbing report has come from the quarries of Abo 6. Slave laborers have lost their minds. They forget how to use tools. They huddle together and continue to stare aimlessly into space, even under the lashes of the whips, ruining the mining deadlines. Some people get obsessed with using their nails to claw out the blasphemous symbols on the tools, on machines, and even on their own bodies. The most mad have painted the walls of several mines from floor to ceiling with the symbols and then gone off deep into the mining tunnels. None of them could be found. The wardens consider it a performance to divert attention away from the escapes and an impending rebellion. Or are those symbols being scratched out by the slaves? It is hard to give these drawings any sort of intelligible definition. Unnaturally round circles connecting the lines. The lines are interrupted by groups of dots. The patterns can sometimes follow some sort of logic and sometimes be unique. I can provide pics of them. After examining the pic, you realize that the symbols are connected through a strange logical sequence. To investigate this anomaly, I feel that something is wrong here. Expert cryptographer, all allies gain 7 logic. Greater servants have succeeded in identifying and studying the patterns in the peculiar drawings made by convicts of Vabos 6. Have the guards monitor where the workers disappear to. Peculiar trinket. At start of the wearer's turn, they gain 2 times equipped armor deflection temporary wounds. When the wearer's wounds drop to 0, they fall prone. They gain 10% of their maximum wounds as temporary wounds. The wearer becomes the priority target of adjacent enemies. Okay. While prone, if the wearer has no other allies with more than 0 wounds, they and their allies die. On the wearer's next turn, they regain 30% of their wounds if they still have temporary wounds. This effect activates only once per round. Okay. Have the guards knock this love for cheap theatrics out of the slaves' heads. Watchdogs of Fabo 6. Flagship gains 3 speed for the first round. Advisors? Spotting an intriguing pattern in the drawing of the symbols left by the prisoners. Hypothesis: they have a practical purpose, requesting access to the mines and the right to investigate the specimen for the Adeptus Mechanicus. Disappearing prisoners? What is the point of running away from penal servitude if the entire world is a prison cell? No, Shadeen, these Asmags have found some sort of smuggling tunnel network and are hiding there. And the drawings are their secret language, which they use to give orders to their fellow prisoners. I know some guys who can find such secret places and decipher these languages. If the slaves will continue to disappear for no reason, then unrest will soon follow. Whether out of fear of disappearing themselves or out of hope for the possibility of escape. To stifle this, we have put pressure on the slaves' leaders. My experience suggests that such people can hold more sway than any warden. Alright. Servants of the Omnisci are allowed to research any slaves that demonstrate odd behavior. +7 to all logic. uh, Jay, have your adroit little friends investigate exactly where my servants wandered off to. Abelard is right. Have the slave foreman stop this mess, or else they are going to regret it. Drawings made by the convicts of Avos 6. I don't really want this. There is no sacrifice more worthy than the one done in the name of the search of knowledge. The wise servants of the Omnissiah have interrogated the strange prisoners. Research on their brain tissue did not reveal any mutations. Those laborers who have completely lost their utility have been granted servitorization in order to maintain production levels. But it seems, in the end, something was found after all. The drawing of the prisoners have been too systematic. They could not simply be gibberish. The sets of repeating elements of the dashes and dots are far too similar. But if it indeed was a secret language, then, judging by its complexity and the impossibility of decoding it, the language was definitely not created by a convict. Okay. I don't have enough for either of those. Iron Eye Grenade. Weapons 2. In the form of a ring. Melta, Scorching, 10 to 14. Underground workers. Gigantic machines will vaporize the rock in their path, clearing the way to the most valuable mineral deposits. The surf clans operating them will never again see the sun, nor will their descendants. Let's get warp guides first. Archetypes, 0%. Damn mean. An auxiliary generator chamber on the artillery deck was overgrown with the thick stems of some thorny plant. The voidsmen reported the vegetation throbbing and sighing, and when they tried to lop off an offshoot, the cut started oozing a disgusting pus. Some officers claimed to have heard someone trapped among the thorns. The desperate weeping of a woman's voice echoed from inside the compartment. Seal off the chamber until the vessel leaves the warp. Send a flamethrower squad to burn away the infestation. Burn. The flame had been reluctant to take hold, barely flickering on the thorny vines at first. The warp creature begged endlessly for mercy, its soft voice full of genuine suffering. But the God Emperor protects his servants. When the vile spawn caught fire at last, only its oily ashes were left behind. For the XP. Oh, damn. It's got 2 things. 1 of that. Alright. Efficiency 2, plasteel 3, cost of 1 mechanism. Higher damage for ranged attacks. Speak with his name, Ganrick. See if we can do a little bit of trade. Pirates seem to like me. Very cool. Alright. We have so much spare fuel. Go. Let's see. Anything we get at 9? Needle pistol, melter charge. No, y'all barely accept anything. Void Heretic Trophy. Wow, we can actually get like most of the things here. Holy shit. After using run and gun, the wearer gains 50% cover efficiency when in cover for 1 round. Deadly repeater. Laser gun. 118, that. Additional hit chance 25. Much lower armor penetration though. Rotor gains a 30% chance to gain 1 more attack action after a kill. I like the sound of that. Children's manual. Eh. Power X. Invigorating resolve. Whenever wearer and allies into the gain momentum, they also gain an equal amount of temp wounds. Slick body glove. Ooh. % dodge against that. Speed of concentration. Gains additional +1 AP for each consecutive turn that the wearer has not spent MP. Stacks up to 5 times. Okay. Improved injector. Yeah. I no longer even need to attempt to... Boop. Alright. Holy Gifts uniform kits. Camaraderie badge. Whenever it hits an enemy in melee range, the wearer's nearest ally gains willpower plus fellowship bonus temporary wounds. Death rolled Enforcer Light Carapace. Okay. Our Claymore. Book of Retribution. Gains plus 50% bonus damage against enemies that dealt damage to the wearer this round. Cannot be parried or dodged. Elite Chainsword. Buying that just because it sounds nice. All targets of taunting screams suffer a -2 plus strength plus toughness bonus penalty to their willpower against this ability. An Imperial Scroll. Sanctified Staff. Sanctic Power. Eve Bolta. Dark Visionary. Cloak of Hatred. Random grants the wearer +5 bonus to parry reduction. If the wearer has Conviction Iconoclast, all allies gained 10 plus 2 times Iconoclast rank hit chance against enemies adjacent to the wearer. Martyr's Penance. Condensed Carapace. Emperor protects, but don't forget to stay well equipped. Sure thing, buddy. Hey, oh wow. We have a lot of Mechanicus creation things. Really? That wasn't enough to titillate you? Anatomist Amulet. Ornament Braces. That requires Heretic. One result. Blade of Boots. They inflict bleeding on the target. Sure. Precise Bolter. Sure. Outcast Visor. Ooh. Fusion Gun. Ooh. And Smelta. Asurkin Gloves. Psyker's Breastplate. Uses the chance of triggering psychic phenomena by 10%. If any psychic phenomena occurs or manifests, rare gains plus that. Plus 2 deflection if the whereas willpower is more than 50. Storm Bolter. Warp Guide Staff. Navigator. If he's Xenomesh. Better Snipey Rifle. Bane of Sorrow. We need to start currying favor with these guys a bit more. I think it's a hex rifle. Rukari weapon. And these guys seem to be the only ones who take this kind of stuff. Ghost plates, Wraith Bone. Oh. Ah. So close to reaching the next level. Come on. Alright. Well.
Hello, Talk.
Nods curtly. Gotcha. Right. Lithium, Plasteel Provisions. Went there and got those. And a Mantine here. Lord Captain, our astropaths received a message from Eclipse Scalander on Dargonos. He closely studied the data from the incursion on Vabo 6, including the mention of the Xenos leaders. He promised to direct the efforts of his aides to identify those enemies of humanity so their location can be determined. Master Scalander is also reporting the Drukhari are getting ready for more attacks on your territory. Information from his aides continues to arrive, and Achilles will personally report to you the moment the target for the upcoming raid becomes clear. Drukhari excel at catching their opponents off guard, and there will be little time to mount a response. According to Master Scalander, your personal participation in defense would be the best strategy, given the circumstances. Of the Xenos raids on your holdings. I mean, like, where the fuck are they happening? Huh? Layer in the void. Pirate time. Don't mind me. Undetermined. Master of Trade. Completed 20 orders. Well then. This are Arbites. Attract reliable merchants and partners. Both warriors and aristocrats. Oh, the Expanse sounds so good though because of the fucking scrap. I'm guessing security is what these raids are gonna draw off of, and whether or not they need like our personal help. Directly with footfall. You run a secret auction order bonus with illegal lots, provided the Rogue Trader's dynasty guarantees its protection. That's like all of its security too. We'll go with shield. Much as I am wont to do that. The rings. Lord Captain, this master helmsman Ravor. The crew is grumbling again, but they've a right reason this time. Our analytics systems have gone totally bonkers. The Red Robes, excuse me, tech priests are blaming the anger of the machine spirits. Allegedly, this is how they profess their displeasure at the crew not being worshipful. We have largely managed to stabilize the output of the augurs and auspices across the ship, but you should know there is something awfully sketchy about the machines these days. I can confirm, Lord Captain. The vessel's analytics systems were behaving incorrectly for a time. Cogitators could not produce statistical data and displayed meaningless numeric combinations instead. The augurs failed to correctly analyze matter and mistook solids for liquids and vice versa. Thanks to the tech priest's efforts, standard operation of the ship's mechanisms has been restored. I'm still registering sporadic reports of similar malfunctions, but we should now be able to handle them. Ain't like a shit ton of profit factor there. The boys. Welcome to the void. Okay. I think I'll do Envirodome and then this. Because I like the sound of that torpedo damage. I like using the torpedoes. They're pretty cool. We also have not gained any efficiency for this place, have we? Nope. Minus 10 toxic damage. Alright. Visit this place, see if that plasteel extract is worth it. 2? Nope. Fuck that shit, I'm out. This place has adamantine. Let's go get it. We got the mobile extractives. They're the pirates. But piracy. Lord Captain, we have received a report from Dargonus. Some common folk from the now ruined Scipion 84249 have succumbed to the heresy of defiance. Forming into engine vandals gangs, they now ride among the wasteland on the wasteland-adapted cleaning Goliaths. They have declared themselves outside of the law, raiding the hive's outskirts, only to escape retribution in the toxic waste. Oh my god, they went full Mad Max. I love it. That's amazing. And this is on our fucking capital world. This is beautiful. Despite your act of grace, these ungrateful heretics are fleeing the hives, abandoning their workstations, and inciting others to do the same. They even dare to spread lies and slander, stating they are being used as slaves. So great are the appetites of the yesterday's refugees. Rumor has it that the Brigadier clan, in charge of debris removal in the ruins of Scipion, keep in contact. We could pass on your words to the renegades via the brigadiers, or force them to disclose the locations of the rebels' nomadic camps. What is a brigadier clan? This is a union. Unions. A union of workers and the technomats who have been working on the lower levels of Scipion. As small-scale bosses of the watches and the shifts, useful common folk who have proved their worth with diligent labor and valuable knowledge. Of course, they stand much lower than the esteemed trader, let alone the aristocrats, but the common folk heed their kin, and the brigadiers have both the authority and the ability to manage them. The Scipions keep them themselves, but the brigadiers have not shown any signs of disloyalty. They were the first to volunteer to return to the ruins of Scipion 84249, and set up the debris removal project. They are certainly useful, and are accustomed to praising the Emperor through their labor. Moreover, their grief at the loss of their home and the resilience with which they have accepted it made them to appear like heroes and martyrs in the eyes of other commoners. How do they survive in the wastelands, and why do they decline my rule? This is a rather uncomfortable way of life, your ladyship. They must always be wary of acid rain and hurricanes, moving a decent distance from the hives as they do not plan on raiding at that moment. They get their food from the abandoned outposts, paying for it with the lives of those killed by autonomous security systems. Water and promethium are rationed very strictly. They live by marauding, on occasional hunt, and plundering. Sometimes their own kin, and sometimes the outskirts of the hives. They are a tribe of degenerates and barbarians that is rapidly developing its own clan culture. Civilized residents of the hive shoot the scum any chance they get. I'll let the brigadiers negotiate with the vandals. We could spend some thrones and avoid the problem altogether. Wasteland generator. This ancient component of the Dargonis fleet frigate was discovered in the waste by the engine vandals and presented to the Rogue Trader. Torpedo 2 is capable of firing 5 short-burning plasma torpedoes with 19 damaged warheads. Alright. If they are so tenacious and militant, let them guard the hives in exchange for a small tribute. Destroy these engine heretics and show them no mercy. Leader of the engine vandals gains one MP. Gotta go fast. Surprisingly gives 1 security. What's that? These engine vandals are causing havoc around the colonies? Hire them. Yep. Destroy the engine heretics and show them no mercy. Wasteland Twister. I love this event. This event is great. What do my advisors have to say? If the engine vandals have managed to tame the ancient machine spirits, then that means there are technomats or even tech priests among their ranks. That renders them negotiable. It would be efficient to utilize such renegades instead of disposing of them. A promise of reward for every piece of technology found in the wastelands of Dargonis and returned back to Dynasty will ensure their obedience and tractability. If you wish to exterminate them, Elantok, do not waste your time on hunting them down. Instead, deceive them into defeating each other with a prize, a weapon, or a trophy that they can fight for. After the Monkey are finished slicing each other up for the right to obtain it, your warriors shall finish the deed. This tactic proves itself to be very useful against your kind. The aristocrats of Dargonis despise them, but are also secretly afraid of them, correct? Renegades that can invoke such fear. I wonder if I had exiles like this on my home. Would they have curbed the ambitions of my brothers and sisters? Would they have supported me in case of conflict? Oh, I am scheming and conspiring right now, am I not? Cassia, are you suggesting that we, recruit them? Bravo, Lady Cassia. Do not be ashamed of the unique abilities bestowed upon you by your heritage. They are your birthright. I mean, if the Inquisitor says it's okay to hire these people. Like, like, if the Inquisitor is encouraging this, I was already leaning towards this. Let's see, Pascal, draft a message directed at the Omnissiah renegades. Let them serve the acquisition of knowledge. We shall follow Irolet's advice. Let us spread rumors about certain valuables in the possession of the Vandals, and then when they are done fighting among themselves, we shall conduct a raid. Lady Cassia is right. We should help them and give the aristocrats a real threat to keep in their place. I am still naive of even the basics of these games played by powerful, but my intuition tells me that this is a winning strategy. What can go wrong? A meeting with the leaders of Engine Vandals was organized via a Brigadier clan. They have gladly accepted your proposal to serve. Good. Having received weapons and information, the Engine Vandals slaughtered several brash and troublesome aristocrats in a few successful raids, sowing fear and reliance on the Rogue Trader's protection. The roar of their engines was like snapping a whip over the heads of frightened cattle. Yes, yes, eat the rich. Shield of the Emperor, by the way. We're good guys. Good guys. Adeptus Arbites. And we can invite the Engine Vandals to become part of the Adeptus Arbites. Let's make them judges and lawyers. And merchants. I don't want to, like, destroy the planet's fucking water infrastructure, so let's not get that. Lord Captain, the mines of Vabos 6 are once again in turmoil, as they usually are. At the depths of level MD Zeta/05, the warders have discovered a mountain of mutilated bodies, as if crushed by the millstones of the mining machines. All the dead are convicts. The guards believe that there is a cult of heretics operating in the ranks of slaves offering human sacrifices. The convicts themselves claim that this atrocity was committed by the order of the superintendent to rid the prison of the more inconvenient prisoners. The superintendent tried to reason with the mob of slaves, but was mauled instead. His desecrated remains were found inside the cells where the prisoners were being tortured during the interrogation of the strange convicts. The wardens have managed to isolate the rebels inside the mining facilities, but an assault would result in high losses of workforce. On the other hand, the slaves are ready to lay down their weapons, cease this violence, and repent if the Rogue Trader would only demonstrate some compassion toward their plight, possibly by reforming some of the more severe punishments. Then who killed those people that were found in the mines? Unknown. The riot made the investigation more difficult. Maybe it was the work of the superintendent, or maybe there is, say, a cell of the Cult of the Final Dawn, operating among the prisoners. But there is an oddity on the few pics that the wardens have managed to scrounge together. Using your imagination a little, you can see a certain pattern in the scattered bodies. One that is remotely similar to the one these difficult prisoners have been drawing. The convicts have revolted against the unbearable actions of their wardens, ordered them to stop torturing the prisoners beyond reason. Mercy of the fallen. The Rogue Trader gains +2 resolve. Everyone knows the nobility of the Rogue Trader's spirit. Okay. Exterminate all the bastards that dare to rebel against me, Scourge of Vabos. All allies gain 3 crit chance. Everyone knows the ruthlessness of the Rogue Trader. Conduct a thorough investigation. We have to understand the slave's cause of death and track down the culprits. Keen mind. Gain 3 dodge reduction. Advisors? Shireen, if the governor and the pack of wardens cannot handle their duties, should they not take the place of their wardens? And could there not be worthy administrators among those who oppose them, those who could do better? A mob of commoners has mauled a nobleman who had been attempting to reason with them. How awful. Perhaps the underground madness has spread among them and assumed a new form, turning them into monsters in the process. It would be cruel to kill them if this is the case. It is much more humane to dissect their brains in order to well-meaningly reduce their ferocity and inclination towards disobedience. It had only once been done by my house when the serfs had rebelled in their ignorance. A rather merciful step. Jesus Christ, Cassia. I do not care about the wardens, the convicts, or their problems. I care about the dead bodies. Who left them? That is the important question. If the bodies are not destroyed yet, then we can conduct a divination. The ritual is not very appetizing, but a psyker, not on the squeamish side, could learn more of their death. Punch the whole prison administration and send them to the mines, then gather new administrators from the prison population. Alright, the convicts have revolted against the unbearable. Okay, so I find it interesting. Like, in previous ones, right? When you ask the advisors for their advice, it gets rid of the old options. But for this one, it doesn't. So I wonder if this is a glitch, or if the previous ones, where it gets rid of the other, like the pre-advice options, is the glitch. Shall I hope for House Orcelio's aid in sharing their knowledge about the brain dissection of the serfs? Alright, Adira, have them find a psyker strong enough to determine the truth about the killer from the victim's remains. Punish the whole fucking prison. Gains 2 resolve. Punish the whole prison administration. Whose suggestion was Jay? Alright, yeah. I will arrange for the investigators from Dargonis to search the convicts' private quarters. The former wardens have been sent to the mines. The wardens crave for the mines. They yearn for them. Not all of them surviving even a single day in the company of their former wards. The esteemed convicts who got on Vabos 6 for venial misdeeds like family debts have formed a new, more efficient administration. The rules of the mining facilities have been relaxed a bit. The wardens were strictly instructed not to use their electric batons during preventative beatings, only their fists and feet. And the cruel practice of decimation was replaced with humane deprivation of rations as punishment for not fulfilling the quota. The convicts rejoiced. Yay, yippee, yay, woo! And there was much rejoicing. The interrogation also did not yield any information to help identify the one behind the murders that sparked the riot. Level MD Zeta/05 has been sealed. Envirodome. Surplus can be expelled from their quarries. Over time, they will run wild and harden, and from it will be possible to select fighters for service. Blood sport. Complacency for all that. For the test of wills. Testing the people named Will. Okay. Last steel. Lord Captain, we have received an athapastic message from Dargonus. A clear Scalander reports a Xenos raid against a merchant ship in the silence of Merget. Coordinates of the hypothetical contact have been forwarded to the crew. If you wish to support your subjects and fight back against the Xenos personally, we must hurry. It is unlikely that a merchant ship will be able to resist the enemies of humanity for long. Arrive in time to save the void ship. Attack in the silence of Merket. Oh, you know what that means. New path. Yum. That little lad. Save before going in. Alright, void ships. Oh, and I should now have a little frigate ally.
Oh, time for a round of space regicide.
Space regicide. Okay, so I guess that's the merchant ship. Last hatred, last hatred. Immortality denied. God, what are these fucking names? Fucking edgelords. Jeez. We have 100. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Start so they can start heading there. Have more. I guess I should have gone for these little guys first. Jesus. So, I wonder if I actually control the frigate. I do not. Good job. Don't fucking hit that. Oh, really?
Oh, drown them in the void. Pew, pew, pew.
Rifling shot. Right there. I'm going after him.
Sail upon the seas of void.
All right. That is fair. A new message from Master Scalander, Lord Captain. This time he is not reporting yet another attack, but the alleged location of one of the Xenos leaders. Ecleus's aides have reported that said leader will be heading an attack on the Paradise World Grantis. There is one catch. The planet belongs to Caligo's Winterscale, another rogue trader. Master Scalander noted in his message that responding to a distress call is unlikely to be considered an incursion into somebody else's territory. The governor of Grantis will most likely send out a call for aid the moment the raid begins, and if your vessel happens to be nearby, no one will question your reasons for landing. Where the fuck is that? Here? Lord Captain, the Astropathic Choir have caught glimpses of horrifying visions coming from Vabo 6. Something has breached the colony from underground. Soon after a new sector of deep tunnels had been put into operation, it was overrun by monsters. They lurk in the darkness, swarm in the shadows, attack quietly and leave nothing in their wake, consuming flesh, plasteel, and rockcrete. The churring of a thousand claws heralds their approach, and desperate cries can be heard in the silence of the tunnels. Praise be to the Golden Throne, these creatures do not seem to be interested in getting to the surface. However, they have seized several active mines and are doing Emperor only knows what. What are those creatures? None who faced them survived to tell the tale. The frightened workers call them a swarm because they crawl along the tunnel like a wave. They say that the enemies are vast in number and are insect-like. One of the workers, who was lucky to survive the attack, has since come up to the surface. The horror drove him mad, and he held a wrench covered in strange engravings. The pattern was exactly the same as the one that the mad convicts had been etching into the walls. Arm the convicts and wardens and have them fight the invaders. Carapace fragment. This item negates all energy damage dealt to the wearer, but it cannot occur more than 3 times per combat. Okay. Blow up the tunnels. Master of the Inferno. All allies gain plus 10 demolition and deal 10% more fire damage. Phyceline and Prometheum become a raging, all-destroying force in the hands of the Rogue Trader. Well, think of my comrades. The threat is unknown. Establishing the nature of the threat is the top priority. Collateral losses are insignificant. Requesting authorization to coordinate an offensive operation to be carried out by penal battalions in order to determine the nature of the attack. We have to block off this threat and protect the people. To do this, we must blow up the tunnels, but to make sure that the plan works, it has to be done in zones currently occupied by this unknown enemy. I am sure that a dozen brave men can be found in the colony, ones willing to accept the grace of martyrdom and descend into the darkness with the explosives. Scout, create a plan for our counterattack. Choose convicts ready to atone for their misdeeds to the honor of martyrdom. Give them explosives and send them to blow up the tunnels. We will seal our enemies underground. Master Inferno. Martyrdom. Heed my words, for I ask of you to kindle the flames of your faith in your chest against which no corruption can withstand. Making a sign of the Aquila with their hands, a dozen martyrs wearing explosive vests have descended into the darkness. Their belief carried them toward their gracious death in his name. A series of tremors shook the mines, and the monstrous roars of crumbling earth filled the empty tunnels. Clouds of toxic smoke have erupted from the depths of the mines. The blockage of stone and dirt has separated people from these terrible invaders, whoever they were. Those Tyranids are just like a native species. All right. No matter what, I've got like 4 jumps to make. Sure don't know where that is. Personal presence is required. What happened? A feud has broken out between 2 influential admirals of the Imperial Navy. having already led to armed skirmishes and even outright battles. Calling to attention a favor he once did for House von Valankis, one of the admirals has appealed to the Rogue Trader's colony for support. Shelter him in the colony, +2 security. Provide him with materials for ship repairs, +4 security, but at a cost of 3 plasteel. Support him with all the resources the colony has, +4. Deny his help, +3 profit. Shelter him in the colony. And provide him with materials for ship repairs. The Admiral appreciates the assistance, which has exceeded his every expectation. From now on, his ships will watch over the colony. Good. Look at those straight 10s, baby. Anything new? No? Alright. No new upgrades. Fine. Okay. Lord Captain, there's been a tragedy on Dargonus. Governor Drivestem has been dedicating most of his time to restoring the astropathic choir lost to the warp storms, but the psychers he assembled were struck by an unknown assault. They heard something, and it has cast them into madness. The astropaths have lost sleep, clawed out their skin to the flesh, muttered gibberish, and now they have gone completely berserk. They had to be eliminated, and now only a few of the most resilient astropaths are upholding the connection to Dargonus. But how long will they last? Where did the former astropaths come from, and can we get more of them? I have received complaints that Governor Drivestem has devastated the minor astropathic choirs of the Protectorate. He scaled them down by almost half through blatant abuse of his authority. To take more people from these choirs would mean depriving ourselves of the connections with other worlds. We could try to hire sanctioned psychers from other domains, but they will few as the road to the Imperium is perilous. The fuck? I did not understand that last sentence. We can try getting by with the resources that are available to us. Seek out the unsanctioned astropaths who train those psi-active citizens of the Protectorate displaying promise, a most regrettable violation of his laws, caused by our grave situation. What is the cause of this affliction? Who knows? The schemes of heretics from the cult of the Final Dawn? The treacherous magic of the Xenos? Perhaps it was a planned diversion, or maybe it was a random echo in the Immaterium. Bring me sanctioned astropaths, steal them, take them by force, threaten them, bring them to me by whatever means necessary. Witch Collector. Party gains plus fellowship bonus divided by 2 momentum when using any psyker or navigator powers. Okay. Hire the sanctioned astropaths for any price. We need them. Disciple of the Damned. Demons, chaos creatures, psychers, and navigators deal 10% less damage to the Rogue Trader and their allies. Hire the unsanctioned psychers. We cannot lose contact with the capital. Psychic Ward. Or Psychic Awakening. What? While Veil Degradation is equal to or more than 10, the wearer deals a plus wisdom or plus willpower bonus plus perception percent. Can only be equipped by an unsanctioned psyker. Where can we attain a new choir? The astropaths are among the most finely trained specialists in the Imperium, who beheld the light of the Emperor himself and gained a special bond with our master. I strongly advise the Rogue Trader recruit only sanctioned psychers who are capable of keeping their talents in check. If there are not enough, the Inquisition will assist you in locating and acquiring more. Your ladyship, Lady Theodora not only had enemies in the Expanse, but friends as well. Those whom she helped out, rescued, and saved. I think these people can offer a helping hand. Among them are several powerful planetary rulers who possess both astropaths and a deep respect for your family name. There are a lot of psychers on my home planet, Lyra, Lord Captain. Do you know why? There, we are not despised, persecuted, or enslaved on the black ships. There, we are sheltered from raids, educated, and respected. Of course, it is all done in secrecy from outsiders, but I can suggest which ruler to contact. Perhaps the Von Valankis family name will be enough to make a deal and obtain a more educated group of astropaths rather than some criminal rabble. Counting on the help of the Inquisition, Heinrich. It is time to visit Theodora's old friends. Give me the coordinates for Lyra. I will task the Dargonis fleet to make way and find us new astropaths. I'm gonna go with the Inquisition on this one. You will get your astropaths. The Von Valankis dynasty is too important for us to just turn a blind eye to it in its time of need. A wave of armed skirmishes and detentions swept across the expanse. The ships carrying these powerful captives have brought the new astropathic choir to Dargonis. Even the most influential could not resist the fearsome agents of the Inquisition, who have requested the ruler's valuable servants to meet the needs of the Von Valankis dynasty. The tragic pestilence of the astropaths has not appeared again, but all of them have reported hearing strange whispers ever since their first day on the planet. That's foreboding. Adeptus Arbites, Alligay of St. Keith. They recover all their wounds and gain 2 AP this turn. Okay. See how much methane is on this planet. 5. Oil. 5. Alright. The tech piece reported a brief malfunction in the Geller field generator that left the vessel exposed to the warp for a brief second. According to the Enforcer reports, something did manage to get into the ship and is now prowling the dark corridors of Loading Bay 5. Send patrols into the affected chamber, isolate the chamber until the vessel leaves the warp, ignore the reports, and resume the voyage. Isolate the chamber until the vessel leaves the warp. A part of the ship was isolated from the rest until it left the warp at the end of the journey. After the vessel emerged in real space and the chamber was unsealed, it was intact, with the exception of the crew who had barricaded themselves in a far corner of the Loading Bay 5 and bravely resisted the unknown assailant for as long as they could. Their remains have been safely disposed of. Fantas. Hold on. Before we get in there. Alright. Governor's camp. You're that with us again, since we're still dealing with Drakari.
What lies beyond?
Machine spirit, be merciful, be glorious. You live to serve.
Curiosity sings
No.
in my veins.
Bastard, we're too late. The body is lying face down, its crooked fingers clinging to the ground. This woman had her spine broken. Then she was allowed to crawl in the vain hope of escape. The dead noblewoman is staring at the sky with unblinking eyes. Her fingers have been thoroughly broken, and a tangle of intestines lies atop her slashed abdomen.
The imprint of torment and fatigue has been left upon this world. The mark of my dark cousins is so stark, it cannot be anything but a trap.
Someone split the man's thorax open and turned his ribs inside out.
Dark cousins? Meaning the Xenos that repel even their own repellent kind? My weapon will be put to use here.
The corpse is missing its eyes, nose, and lips. Judging by the maimed mouth, the teeth and tongue were also torn out before death.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
Take that bottle of wine. The face and hands are twisted in the paroxysm of death throes. The victim's last moments were full of torment.
What is that?
Watch your steps.
Holy gifts. So obviously an ambush point.
At last. You took your time coming to meet me, monkey.
This guy has character art. Xenos in ornate black armor turns his head to you. His thin, pale face is covered in tattoos and blood spatters. After a moment, his thin lips stretch into a crooked, unpleasant smile. He says the thing. A couple of seconds pass before you realize that the Elucidator is silent. The Xenos is addressing you in low Gothic.
Hold your foul tongue, abomination. Such filth will not use that tone with the Emperor's chosen.
Abelard is white with fury.
Why, I sent an invitation by way of the cattle that dwelt on this world. And the chosen has so obediently appeared. How are my words anything but the truth?
The Xenos tilts his head to one side.
One of my soft-bodied kin. What meager offering tempted you to lower yourself to attending these animals? Or does their company remind you of being among your lost brothers and sisters?
He turns to Irlet in a snake-like motion.
What do you know about my brothers and sisters, Dark One?
Irlet freezes. Only her wide eyes betray her dismay and anger.
Only that they wander blind and helpless, robbed of their home and hope. But why am I telling you this? Isn't it your duty to watch over your kin, outcast?
He lets out an unpleasant laugh. You met on the mining world. You were the Xenos who got away. You were the Xenos that got away.
You ruined the reception that our poor little Tazara had worked so hard to arrange. Now it is the succubus's dream to drag you to Gamora and have her way with you. What a terrible disappointment it would be for her if something were to happen to you before then. But we should not get ahead of ourselves, yes? First, monkey, allow me to get a good look at you. There is deplorably little to distinguish you from the rest of your dull-witted species. And yet, monkey, and yet you are different. After all, you are from the caste of their rulers, are you not? Rogue Trader. That is what they call you. Well then, Rogue Trader, since you nevertheless deigned to come to this meeting, tell me your little secret.
The Xenos pauses and raises his chin slightly, examining you.
How is it that out of all of your kind, you're the only one to discover our feasts in advance? Usually you're all so slow and sluggish that my kin have always been enough time to leave the battlefield before aid arrives. But still, time and time again, your dogs have been there to stand in the Cabal's way.
He pauses, waiting for your answer. Aggravating, is it not, having someone best you at your own game?
You think too highly of your deeds, however insignificant they may be.
Smarter than we look.
And? That's it? Just an assertion that your kind are not as brainless as you appear to be? This answer does not satisfy me. I will tell you this, monkey. I know you might be lying to me, or you might even be unaware of who is guiding your hand. In any case, I have grown quite tired of your attempts to delay the inevitable. Surely you too have run yourself ragged, chasing us between the stars. Let us put an end to this. Finish this standoff. My forces against yours, once and for all.
Xenos pauses, mulling over something. Then he continues in an unmistakable tone of wary boredom.
You wander among the stars, so you must know of this place. An ancient reach, where the echo of stellar agony rings still. A place that serves as a graveyard for old stars, still filled with residual emissions and glittering dust. The place that buried your wreck, stuffed full of delicious, frightened monkey, and the horrors that devoured them. The threshold of our domain. Your kind call it the Cinerus Maleficum. That is where our disputes will be settled. The cabal of the Reaving Tempest will be waiting for you, monkey. Do not come unarmed.
Not so fans. I answered your question, now you answer mine. The Xenos lowers his head pensively, but what catches your attention is something else. A barely noticeable twitch of his fingers in his armored gauntlet. He is signaling to someone standing behind you.
Very well. Amuse me.
Who are you?
My name is Marajai Aziriesh, Draken of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest, First Blade to Lady Irimaris, Eviscerator of Illyridos, Blaze of the Barkag Kingdom, and Slayer of Corocious the Pale.
I don't know what any of that means. What's an Archon?
Mistress of the Cabal, whose hunting grounds lie in this region of real space. It was she who ordered her subjects to gut monkey worlds in order to replenish the supply of meat in the cages of her arenas. I suppose I should not have expected anything compelling from a monkey. Your questions breed boredom. The conversation is over.
I have another question. Fucking leaves. I don't know. More optimally use my questions. Yeah, we save scum.
At last.
Hold your...
What? One of...
What do you...
Only that they wander blind and helpless, robbed of their home and hope. Oh, but why am I telling you this? Isn't it your duty to watch over your kin?
Do you know? What do you know about Irlet's kin?
Perhaps I was mistaken. And it is not my Craftworld cousin who follows you. Perhaps it is you who serves her. Why would a monkey concern herself with the fate of those you call Xenos? Do you not consider them, us, your mortal enemies?
I know how heavily this mystery weighs on Irlet. I wish to lighten her burden. Irlet helped me. Now it is my turn to help her. This one. Irlet's keen gaze pierces you. Emotions flash across her face in quick succession, and a spark of light appears in her eyes.
So you do serve her. Very well. There is something I can tell you, Iliad, after I am done with these monkey. Step out of my way.
Flicks his tongue.
No, Dark One. That will not come to pass.
Aelith curls her fists. After a moment's pause, she whispers, "Do you like what we just said?"
Then I have nothing to say to you. There is deplorably little to distinguish you from the rest of your dull-witted species. How is it that out of all of your kind, you're the only one to discover our feasts in advance? You think too highly of your deeds, however insignificant they may be.
It commands substantial resources.
I suppose you are forthright in that regard. But simple riches do not change the fact of your weak, short-sighted, deficient nature. No, there is another reason why the monkey have so suddenly become so astute. I will tell you this, monkey. I know you might be lying to me. You wander among the stars, so you must know of this place.
Someone's standing behind you.
Very well. Amuse me.
Are you and your band the ones responsible for stealing the suns?
Stealing the sun? The Drakari are capable of that and much more, monkey. Gamora bathes in the light of 3 stars stolen by my kin. But if you think I had a hand in this or any other theft of suns, you are mistaken.
Who are you?
My name is Marajai Aziriash. I suppose I should not have expected anything compelling from a monkey. Your questions breed boredom. The conversation is over.
Conversations end when I say they do. I have another question. It's about time.
A curious specimen.
Where's the people behind us? The fuck? Slith. Sybarite. Incubus. Alright. There's totally gonna be something that comes out from over there. Alright. Oh, pretty much gonna be moving forward for most of this first bit. Go for it.
This tedium is beneath me. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
Nice.
My revenge
Very nice.
will be delectable.
Right. Sorry, what? Some of them.
Be careful not to cross my gaze. Your misery is my treat. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Can't quite get up there yet. Alright, start killing each other. Have fun.
You call this a strike? Escapes us. You've unleashed my fury.
If I may, try to die with grace at least.
There we go.
I'll paint your death in colors.
At your beck and call.
Very good.
Your suffering will sustain me.
Nice.
I'll make you howl.
Or nope. Dead.
Cogitation failed.
Line of sight, huh? Alright.
Running binaric override.
Far away, huh? Alright.
Woe to you!
Woe to you.
Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act.
1%. 38%.
Let me educate you on the art of pain.
I'll do it.
Oh, come on.
Your death is approaching. Let them tremble.
You just do.
Your last stroke of luck. I bring agony.
High momentum.
Right. That's range.
You will pay for this in blood.
Noise. Noise. Damn. Triple kill. Holy shit. Doing pretty good. And hey, now it's your turn.
If it serves your cause. If I must.
Could actually kill this person. Damn.
As duty demands.
My blood.
Oh, there's like still one person.
As the tactical
Going
imperative
up there.
dictates.
Pain is all.
What the fuck was that?
Victory is imminent.
You call this a strike? Woe to you!
Let's see.
Where the heck is Cassie? Oh. Almost got him.
One step at a time, amidst
All
the
right.
madness.
Pile of mutilated bodies with cut tendons and shattered bones. This splinter rifle. It looks like this warden died before he could even raise his weapon.
Patience. My nerves are frayed.
Embroidered cloak. Grants the wearer a +5 bonus persuasion. Whenever the wearer is affected by an ally's ability, they gain +3 dodge until end of combat. Stacks. The dead warden is pinned to the ground with the blade of their own broken dagger. It was plunged right under their chin to ensure that the victim slowly choked to death.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
The governor's body was masterfully disemboweled. His many implants were removed, after which, judging by the amount of blood, the victim lived for a while longer before being shot.
What lies beyond?
This reinforced Kabbalite armor.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Deadly precision. Armor of the Undaunted. All of the wearer's attacking abilities cost +1 AP more, but gain +20% crit chance. Jesus. This reminds me. I got like a bunch of shit. Now what's this one? Flamer. Have any other flamers? I think I do. Stacking -5 penalty to that. Have a stubber. Multi-melter. Huh. Number Epiphany. All damage dealt by this weapon pushes an enemy. When this pushes an enemy is increased by 100. See Delphin pattern. X. Plasma pistol. See if we have something better than a regular old plasma pistol. Delta Ultima. The Dark Marchesa. It's two-handed. Crap. I don't know when I got that, but we have a door. Rifle. And then you have shockingly few things that you can use. Scorpion chainsword. Odari chainsword. Archer blade. Ghost sword. Nope. She can use so few things. Witch armor. Okay. So this guy just fucking escaped in this direction. And these chuckle fucks down here.
Experience. Nothing
Oi.
matters more.
Oi.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
You really believe
It really
your
wasn't.
god is sitting somewhere on a throne of gold, watching over you?
He is. Literally.
Not over me. The God Emperor cares for all his worthy daughters and sons. But a Xenos like you can hardly be expected to grasp the purity of human faith.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Probable location: Lapidus Mortis, Last Chance of Cyrene, Litoribum Maledicta. Or in other words, these places. That wasn't there before. That wasn't there before. %. What happened here? Lord Captain, Weber on the line. The astropaths are going crazy in their little chamber. They're reporting severe warp disturbances along our intended route. Looks like the maw is completely impassable. I've seen this before, yes, and if you ask me, going in there is not a good idea. For us or any other void ship. So you're saying that not only will I break through the maw to the Imperium, but I will cover myself in glory as the conqueror of the raging warp? Forward! I did not inherit this void ship, I want to destroy it in the roaring immaterium. I'll let someone less valuable deal with them all. I'll see to it, Lord Captain. The Emperor protects. Bad decision. By the grace of the Emperor, I have been charged with chronicling the voyage that my blessed commander, Lord Captain Medea, intends to undertake through that turbid tract of the warp known as the Maw. The thought of what lies ahead fills our souls with terror, but we have all the faith in the light of the Emperor. May his protection be with us now. Charted course for expedition. Report from Navigator's Sanctum. Lord Captain, we have locked on to the blessed light of the Astronomicon and are ready to make our first warp jump to the Hermitage. Once in the Void Station's orbit, we will carry out maintenance liturgies and, with luck, exchange information with other trade void ships there that are using that region as a rendezvous point. The second warp jump will be made to the witch-cursed world, a foul and lifeless planet, at which point we will assess the state of the vessel. A third warp joint is planned to Port Wander, where, the Protector willing, we will reach the vast expanse of the Imperium, and we will abide there in safety. Message from the Anthropathic Choir. Lord Captain, we once again draw your attention to the fact that the warp region of the Maw is more turbulent than usual. The Diviner's vigils portend death for us, and much worse besides. This is not our first decade perceiving the void, and we have seen terrible storms, but none like this. We beseech you, please have mercy on us. If that be not your will, we stand ready to serve until the end. Get ready to die. Oh boy. After offering up the requisite prayers, the crew received a Vox address from the Blessed Lord Captain, in which our commander gave the order to initiate the jump to the Hermitage. We made it to the Hermitage, an outcome made possible solely by the Emperor's mercy. Medicaid test succeeded. The ship has been chewed up by the ravenous immaterium, and madness has taken root across our decks and stalks among us, staring us in the eyes. The vessel is in orbit around the station, thronged by thousands of silent satellites, the jettisoned bodies of the dead. I spent the entire jump in the murky depths of the Anthropathic Choir Bay, where acolytes of the ship's surgeon walked back and forth in silence. After singing the healing liturgy from beginning to end, they marched among the psychers who had been medicated into unconsciousness. Any psycher who awoke, often with howls of horror, were quickly pacified with a sharp jab from an electrified baton. But my attention was wholly captured by Adira Talas. Gripping the shoulders of each astropath in turn, staring into their eyes, she compelled the raving psychers to collapse with a visceral cry, curling up on the deck with all thought of resistance gone from their mind. How many did she save? How many would have perished without her? Every moment now, I hear a voice full of vehement ire. It is the voice of the angel of the Emperor. It is so ferocious, my very blood fears it, fleeing my body through my ears, eyes, and nose. The angel bade me compile a picked chronicle of the horrors recorded by the servo skulls in the ship's bays. May whoever finds it know the torments we suffered before death. Incident report. I saw the pick recordings made on various decks with my own eyes. With horror and avid curiosity, I relished each bloody detail, drinking in the stream of chaotic, incomprehensible scenes. A nameless dread blossomed in my soul. I saw a bloody massacre in the enginarium, people armed with tools bashing each other's heads in. I saw a deck full of violently convulsing bodies covered in a layer of mold and sprouting grotesque fungi. I witnessed a crowd of crew members walk toward an opening airlock with mindless, exultant smiles on their faces, and be caught a moment later on a wave of air and wrenched out in the cold embrace of nothingness. With my own eyes, I saw a gunner steadily hitting a large caliber shell with a wrench, and inside a cogitator, I could just make out the bloody remains of an engine sear, possibly squeezed in among the tangled wires. So much horror, so little hope. Engine sear's report. Report from engine sear deck. My lady, it grieves me to report the demise of 27.61% of the blessed machine spirits entrusted to my care. Reactors 2 and 3 required expedited burials, and the deck's crew held a vigil in their memory. The servitors have logged at least 11 breaches in the whole exterior and at least 3 in the whole interior. With my lady's gracious permission, I will endeavor to save what can still be saved. The Omnisire knows all, comprehends all. Hermitage Station Situation Report. Scouting Expedition Report. I don't know how they haven't gone crazy yet, sitting in the middle of this warp storm. There are around 1,000 people there, a few hundred outcasts and anchorites living permanently on the station, and the crew of a trading vessel that barely made it as far as the Hermitage and won't be departing ever again. Seems they spend whole days sitting under their crystal dome praying, eating ration packs, and watching as reality loses its mind. They say the Emperor will protect them against the coming tempest. Of course they do. He's the only thing they can trust in now. For them, there is nowhere else to turn. We offered them passage on our ship. No one said yes. Mad, all of them. I don't know. I think we're the mad ones. Continue. When the message came through the Voxnet, I struggled to hear it over the whispering of the angel in my ears. My honorable lady gave order to make the warp jump to the witch-cursed world. We're at the witch-cursed world. The place where we are doomed to perish. Uh-huh. That is what the Emperor's angel told me, his voice almost impossible to bear. It bade me record every drop of sorrow. My chronicle will spread his word through the warp and sow terror in all who come to know of our dire voyage. So speaks the angel, and my own thoughts are so muddled that all I can do now is submit and bear witness. I like how the whoever the holder of this chronicle is like literally in real time falling to the warp. This is great. I'm just watching it happen. This poor guy. As soon as the ship exited the warp, thousands of crew members, assembled into teams, launched into repairing the major areas of damage. The will of our fearless Lord Captain drove them, and in that moment, I deeply envied their resolve. The Lord Captain's honorable companion, Heinrich von Calix, personally led the ship's hands to the most seriously damaged decks. First, he admonished the cowardly crew members who refused to do their duty, and then he banished the fear from their hearts with a single shot. Verily, the man's mercy is indeed great. I left the Astropathic Choir Bay and spent this jump in the Navigator's Sanctum. Though the number of casualties was high there, many managed to survive, including me. Furthermore, when the malevolent tentacles of the warp reached into our souls, and a bloody inscription in an unholy language began to appear on the bulkhead, the Emperor granted me the blessing of bearing witness to a miracle. Sister Argenta, entirely undaunted, marched up to the bulkhead and erased the words with a fearless swipe of her hand. She turned to us with a smile and said, "It is only blood. Do not fear the Immaterium, for its nightmares are nothing before the Emperor's light." In that moment, I had faith that all was not yet lost. Today, I believe I was mistaken. The losses and damage are enormous. They say there was a mutiny. The Master Helmsman reports that the odds of surviving another jump forward are 0. The odds of a successful jump backward are also 0, but the second 0 is slightly less definitive. Internal systems are failing. Cogitators are experiencing periodic... Stop it. I'm afraid. Dearest failure. Which Curse Worlds? Navigational forecast. Reporting from Navigator Sanctum. Lord Captain, the crew of the Navigator Sanctum have virtually lost the light of the Astronomicon. Our only hope is to retrace our terror. Our steps, both in our thoughts and in our pain. Save us, or lead us to our deaths. We will follow you no matter what. Incident report. Sheesh. The picked chronicle recorded by the eyes of the servo skulls made my heart stutter. In horror, I watched as a crewman who seemed perfectly healthy struggled against the shackles pinning him to an operating table, and a group of doctors, whispering excitedly among themselves, drew out their steel surgical instruments and eagerly began cutting into his flesh. Cried out as I watched engine seers burning holy incense and chanting the prayer to waken the plasma generator's machine spirit. A young acolyte, his heart wavering, accidentally disrupted the liturgy, releasing the motive force into the power conduit before it was time, and my poor eyes were blinded by the white light of the explosion. After that, I was silent, for that was the only way I could continue to watch. Technomats in dirty coveralls reverentially poured chalices of blood onto the base of a macabre tree. A weapon pointed upward, its supports outspread like branches, and hanging from them like ripe fruit were the bodies of the bay's officers. After tossing aside his discharged lasgun, a priest brought his fingers to his bleeding ears and then daubed these crimson words on the bulkhead. "Don't listen to him. He is no angel." Who was he talking to? Me? Scarlet roses, their buds bleeding, were growing through the bulkheads, which were covered with patches of rot. Crew members in black uniforms incinerated them with flamethrowers, weeping black tears and roaring with maniacal laughter. A string of people silently entered an airlock, above which was written Hangar C-11-2, and were lost to the darkness. As the deputy Carto Artifacts, I know the ship's layout well. There has never been a Hangar C-11-2. The unknown has touched our vessel. It has taken root in it, and now we are all in the clutches of the Immaterium. Report from Ship's Confessor. Master's report. Stop. The rousing speech from the Lord Captain, which was broadcast over the Vox system, inspired the crew, who promptly broke into teams to repair the primary systems. The volunteers, all departed, were later lauded in prayer. Which Cursed World? Situation report. Engine Seer Avlier's report from Augur Station 12. We must not make planetfall. I know what I saw, and no, we must not set down on that planet. It is not because the wind could tear the hull off the landing shuttle in the blink of an eye, or because the temperature on the surface fluctuates between red-hot plasma and absolute zero. No, it's because planets do not have faces, but this one did. A vast face of jagged plateaus, eyes and fiery tornadoes, and a mouth made from a crater half a continent across. And I saw that face smiling at me. It saw me. It saw all of us. We must not make planetfall. Emperor, have mercy on us. Addendum. Engine Seer Avlier was executed 4 hours after submitting this report for fomenting panic among the crew. Continue. Over the static and the howling of the unholy warp spirits that had infiltrated our Vox system, we heard the voice of our Lord Captain, who ordered us to make the warp jump to Port Wander. The senior officers from all decks gave a general report to my blessed Lord Captain. According to the assessments of all the ship's services, the chances of a favorable outcome of a jump to Port Wander were 0. On behalf of the entire crew, they declared that serving under our glorious commander had been an honor, and, if it was her will, they were ready to forge onward and meet their deaths. Glory to House von Valancius and its valiant servants. We were all prepared to die that very hour, and then the Lord Captain bade us die. Praise the Emperor, for we are going home. Report from Navigator Sanctum. Lord Captain, warp jump to the Hermitage cannot be calculated. We cannot detect its shadow within the sacred radiance of the Astronomicon. The warp storms are obstructing everything. We think our only chance is to make a longer jump to Shortfall. Chances of survival are low, but not non-existent. Emperor, preserve us. Path became clear. Footfall was our destination. The warp jump is complete. We are still ourselves, and we are alive, although only a tenth of those who set out on this expedition remains. But we have seen everything, and now nothing can dent the crew's spirit. Cannot say the same for my own. The left side was engulfed in a terrible fire, threatening to undermine the main caliber arsenal chambers. Holding tighter to their faith, the crew members responded as one to the harsh voice of our illustrious Lord Captain and rushed to save what remained of the vessel. The angel no longer speaks to me, and a strange emptiness is settled within my soul. Carrying this deficiency inside me is unbearable. Here ends my chronicle, and my duty has been fulfilled. I will append a report about the sorry state of the ship after I go to the engine seers to request voluntary servitorization. The Emperor protects. Yeah, damn. Ship status report. Report from Navigator Sanctum. The warp is a sly and insidious beast, Lord Captain. We are ready to acknowledge that now. It is pleased that we admitted our defeat. That is why it let us come back. And we believe there can be only one reason for that. An even worse fate awaits us here. Oh no. Master Steward's report. Crew losses, 87%. Due to the death of the acting transmechanic on the engine seer deck, I'm reporting that the damage to the ship is widespread and all-encompassing. We are running diagnostics now. Thanks to the ship's confessor reading extracts from the Code of Punishment over the Vox system, the emergency repairs were completed much sooner, and the ship's critical nodes saved. Crew morale. Report from Deck 1 Senior Officer Font. We are voidsmen, sir. We know we will die long before we ever get the chance to soil ourselves in our sickbed. We know our trade. We conquer the void, discover stars, ship freight, and plunder forgotten planets. And we die. We die in ways so horrible that most people can't even imagine such a death. Well, we've gone to a place others fear to even think about, and we've come back from there along with our Lord Captain. Next time the warp tries to play its games, we'll tell it, what else do you have to throw at us? Report on Reactorium incident. Master Helmsman report. I would be willing to swear that generator's 6 power circuit unit was switched off when we began the warp jump. There were cracks in the casing, the enclosure was damaged. We would never start up that piece of junk. It would have blown in seconds, and I have no idea how it switched itself on. No one from the crew touched it. When the last generator failed, the energy supply should have been cut off, but number 6 continued to run. It dragged us along for 18 minutes, even though it should have exploded after 18 milliseconds. I don't know how that happened. The Emperor protects. Close. Alright, good job, crew. You lived. We still had some whole life. We could have gone further. Good shit. right. With that note, we shall end it here for today, as we've been going for about 4 hours, which is our usual stopping time. So, boop, boop.